So I'm Layla Croll, and I live in S8 in Sheffield, and I'm a learning designer. I help organisations to train their staff with online courses. So I live in Norton Lees, which is just above Nisbrook, the land of hills. Since lockdown, this area definitely, we have all connected with each other so much more than we ever would before. And I think it's certainly I've had a rethink about a lot of things. So because I haven't had to commute to work every day, I can do my work online. I'm lucky. So I'm always here. I'm around. We go for a walk every day in woods that exist at the end of my road, and I had no idea they were there. We see the same people. Hi. We have WhatsApp groups up and down the road. Just sharing things. Does anybody want this? Does anybody need anything? Does anybody want to do some shopping for them? It's so nice. And I think lockdown has, if there's anything positive that has come out of it, it's that kind of thing. I'm so much closer to my neighbours. I see them every day now, whereas before, all they ever saw was me running out to my car or running out, running on the school run. But now, much more connected. I think it's really lovely, actually. I started the blog Make Change Do for purely my own amusement, really. I just wanted to do something creative. And I've got some web skills, so it wasn't that hard to do. And I got really into sewing about 2 years ago. And I got my sewing machine out. And one of the things sort of related to what we were talking about community is that the sewing community is solid. It's really strong. It's really supportive. Everybody shares tutorials. Everybody shares tips. If there's something wrong with your sewing machine, you post it on a few groups and you've got your solution. Everybody's so nice. So I just wanted to share the stuff that I was doing really on the blog. And it was, the blog is also just about being a bit more sustainable and things like that. And my efforts, such as they are, to try and do a bit of that. So really for my own amusement. I've been trying to spend less money. I've been trying to, because I'm lucky enough to work full time. I want to spend money more ethically, basically. So I've been trying to make small changes wherever I can. I'm a busy person, so I'm always looking for convenience, and I get it. But I think if I spend my money at a local shop or a local business, or I make something myself instead of going out buying it, it gives me an incredible amount of satisfaction. And it kind of also makes me feel a little bit more in control as well. It makes me more in control of my money. I'm spending it on people who I think deserve it rather than people who are just offering convenience. I think when lockdown started, the whole, local businesses delivering during the lockdown came from that. Really. So the first thing I think most people did was just sat in the house feeling helpless. I certainly did anyway. I felt completely helpless. What am I going to do to help? What am I doing to contribute? I'm working 37 hours a week. I can't do a lot. So just looking for small things to change and just be useful to somebody. And everybody was online. All of the local support groups I'm on, all of the local Facebook groups, all of the local businesses on Twitter. There was all this sporadic information about you can't get big supermarket deliveries. There's queues around the block for the supermarkets. And at the same time, all of the local businesses are really struggling. And it was heartbreaking because, why should only the big supermarkets be okay in this situation? And then, of course, everybody started slowly sharing, well, actually, the local shop up the road is offering deliveries. Does anybody know this? And because all of this information was coming in different groups from different people, from word of mouth, from my sister, from my mates, somebody on the street, somebody on Facebook. And I just thought, right, I've got this blog. It's just sitting there. I'm gonna just try and collate as much information as I can about just this local area and what you can do. And then I can share it with all of the different groups in the same place. So I've got a website, I might as well use it, kind of thing. So I just started collating and I started following people on Facebook, local shops, and asking them and going, right, are you delivering? And also, I think the veg box delivery companies were all at capacity as well. So people were genuinely struggling at the beginning to know how they were going to feed themselves, which is ludicrous, you know, with all of these shops around. So yeah, I just started putting it all into one list, and sharing it, and it turned into something that was taking me about 2 hours every evening to update, because people were just developing new ideas, new people were joining 3 miles, you know, at a rate that seemed so, you know, so quick. And some people were saying, no, stop sharing, I'm at capacity now. So it's like, taking off. People were contacting me saying, can you add me to your list? There was loads of other amazing lists as well that were similar. So mine was more sort of very hyper local, you know, like if you're around here, you can either go to, you know, to this delivery in town, or the shop right up the road will deliver to you, or you can do click and collect and things like that. So yeah, it was just an attempt to do something useful. Yeah, I do, definitely. And I think local businesses often struggle to compete, obviously, we all know that, but it's because of the convenience and the fact that they all suddenly started delivering and rethinking, actually, okay, we can spend a day a week closed, but delivering. And, you know, even though people can still go into shops now, I think if the local shops carry on doing that, that's just one thing that I think is going to change things, because busy people get big supermarket deliveries, and that's just the way it is, because we need that convenience. We don't, you know, we haven't got the time. And I think now I have changed completely how I shop. You know, I get my fruit and veg from Bingham and Brown's. I get all of my kind of grains and stuff from the Bare Alternative, and all of it is either click and collect, which is fine as well. That saves you time. Click and collect is fine, or delivery. And also, it's just, yeah, it's made me think differently. If there's a few things that I need, me and my little boy will just jump on my bike and we'll go up to the local shop and buy it there. And only if they don't have something do I then go to a bigger shop. Yeah. And I kind of do it like that, the domino effect. So there's only a few things now that I really need to go to the supermarket for. And I think sharing the information about what is available is really important, because, as I say, there are a lot of older people on our road that don't necessarily sit glued to Facebook every day and have that information at their fingertips. So just being able to say, look, I'm collating information for you, it's all here, let me know, you know, sharing word of mouth stories online and stuff is really important, I think, for local businesses, because they don't have the advertising capacity, do they? They don't have that power to do massive advertising, so they need local people to share that knowledge. The other thing I'd say about it is I've eaten so well, you know, so much better. I don't think I've spent a lot more money, maybe a little bit, but not too much. And the quality of the produce, especially fruit and vegetables, I would say, is unbelievable, and no more expensive, you know, from local grocers. And that's really important to me. So my family have eaten really well on, you know, pretty much the same budget. I mean, everybody's spending more on groceries right now, but yeah. So that, I think that's another really important thing, is the quality of the produce is so much better when you shop locally. Things are not going off in my fridge or on my counter as they did before. So, okay, maybe it is slightly more expensive sometimes, but they are lasting longer. They're, because they're better quality, they're fresher. They haven't been imported from somewhere miles away unless they had to, you know. Things last for longer, the quality is better. I only started the mask making to again make a contribution, to just do something helpful. I just thought, you know, I've got this sewing machine, I've learned how to use it now, I know what I'm doing, kind of. And, you know, we're in this situation where, you know, we know that masks give us protection. I know that there's lots of debate around that, but it's better to wear them than not. So I started making masks for myself and my family. Then I ended up making one for my sister and her family. Then I made some for my friends and their families, and it just kind of escalated. And then I asked everyone on the street, does anybody want one? And then there was loads of people who felt really vulnerable going out. So I dropped off those. Everybody has offered to pay me for the masks I won't take money, because it's not about that. For now, it's about, you know, just helping and making sure that if somebody wants a mask, they've got one. I mean, I can do it now in about 10 minutes because I've been practicing so much. And there's a huge community. There are thousands of people around the country joining organised groups, making masks and scrubs and hats and stuff for the NHS and for people working in care homes. We've done some for people working in doctors' surgeries. So I've joined one of those groups, but because I have so little free time, I can only make sort of small contributions every now and then. But those guys, they make, there's women who make 50 in a day. It's incredible. And, nobody's asking for any money for them. It's just everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to join this kind of helpful community of people who, and so many people have dusted off their sewing machines as well that haven't used them for years. And my neighbour's dusted hers off. She's not had it out for years, and she's now making stuff for the Baby Basics charity. It's just, everybody just wants to make a tiny contribution of some kind, don't they? Green, really green and really friendly. I know that's what everybody says, but it's true. And there's all the community groups that I've been talking about are just so supportive, so friendly, so nice to each other. Everybody knows everybody in Sheffield. Everybody's connected to everybody else in some way, or knows someone who knows someone. And it's really friendly. And there are parks everywhere. There's so much green space. It makes a massive, massive difference to our life. We try and get out into the countryside, 10 minutes and you're there. And that's so nice, just being in the Peak District. We're really lucky to be so near to such a lovely, lovely countryside. So, I think it's those things. I'm not so keen on the hills, I have to say, because I like to cycle, and sometimes that's so hard to choose.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, for me, I really like the bare alternative. Zero waste shop. You can go there with your own jars, pots, bags, whatever, and pick up your own sort of loose stuff, which I just think is fantastic. I was waiting for one to open for so long, and I was so happy when they did. So I love those guys. Zeds, I buy loads of food from there because we mostly eat a plant-based diet, and we get fruit and veg and all sorts of veggie stuff from there. And I love Zeds. I think Zeds is amazing. There's so many. I really like the Moor markets. I love the Moor markets. I was so glad when they saved them and that they were, they were in that new building because they were in an open air market before. The fact that you guys have a couple of grocers and stuff on there is amazing. Well, off the top of my head, the one thing I'm hoping that when all this is over, if it is ever really, properly over, is that people don't stop delivering, and people don't stop getting local shops to deliver to them instead of going back to the big supermarkets. And I'm certainly going to try and keep that going. So I'm hoping that all the people that are on your list won't suddenly disappear after all of this. I want them to still do some deliveries. I know they might be a bit more limited in what they can do, but for busy people to be able to shop locally, it's really, really helpful to be able to get stuff delivered or to be able to do click and collects. So I'm hoping that everybody will continue to do that even when this is over.